Hey guys, so here's your stuff for Saturday. We're going to get into 3 rounds on the warm-up. Pretty straightforward, 4 burpees, chest to the ground, jump and clap, bat wings, or scap circles, whatever you're calling them. So those are ones where we're laying down, get into that hollow position so our legs are off the ground and our arms are off the ground. You should feel that kind of muscles in your lower back firing up. And we're going to keep our arms straight, keep the thumbs up. We'll go around, turn the thumbs over, touch. Okay, so it's slow and controlled, and try not to flail. And then you're just trying to squeeze your shoulder blades and kind of basically a back muscle warm-up, right? Back and shoulders. Then we're going to do frog jumps. You're going to find a way to just do 10 feet somehow. So either in a circle in your basement or back and forth. But you're going to do that wide foot, narrow hands, and then you're going to just kind of lean into your hands. Okay, so you should be feeling that kind of hip stretch while you're doing that. Yeah, so just kind of do a little bit back and forth, or if you have down your driveway or whatever you got to do. It's supposed to be a nice day. So for strength, it's going to be 8 sets for everyone, no matter what equipment you got. For a barbell, you are doing, if you can, you're going to try to build in weight. You're going to do some power snatches and hang power snatches, and I'll show you those in a sec. If you have a dumbbell, you're going to be doing the same lifts, just with one hand. You're going to change the reps a little bit. You're going to do the ones from the ground, the ones from the knee, and then you're going to switch to the other. So it'll be 8 sets every 90 seconds. So the timing of it, if you want to write it down, the sets start at 0, 1.5 minutes, 3, 3.5 minutes, 4, 4.5, 3, 4.5, 6, 7.5, 9, 10.5. So last set starts at 10.5 minutes, and you begin the set at the minute and a half. Try to keep up with that. It should take about 30 seconds maybe to do the set, maybe 30 to 45. Obviously with a dumbbell it might take a bit longer, but the idea is you should have about 30 seconds, 45 seconds of rest to kind of get the heart rate down, maybe change your weights if you're adding weight, and then kind of be able to go again on the minute. So try to keep up with the clock. All right, so power snatch. We're going to just break down some things quickly. So if I've got a bar, and even if you don't have a bar at home, we want to do some drills to get us kind of remembering how to lift. So we're just going to get in power position first. So we've got that bar kind of with our arms straight out, and the bar's kind of in that hip crease. Hook grip on the bar. So put the thumb on first, wrap the fingers around, and we're going to do a few with our feet under our hips. Down and up, so dip and drive. So we're going to basically keep power position where our chest stays vertical, and we're going to go down and up, shrug. All right, so we're kind of just getting into that burger warm-up. This is the kind of speed through the middle, speed through extension, right? Then we're going to work on keeping the bar close by pulling our elbows high and outside. So we're going to be going speed through the middle, and then we're going to do a high pull, elbows high, so you can see the bar is going to be going up this way. So we're going to be going, right, chest stays up, right? We're not actually kind of hinging over and up the bar go this way. The bar is going straight up, right? And then we're going to work on turning over, right? So we're going to start with that bar here, right? Our feet are going to be under our hips. We're going to work on landing, right? So we're going to go okay, so we're just going to start it just under our chin, right, nice and close. All we're going to do is land in our little quarter squat, punch it out, try to get that footwork to be the same every time. Right, so it should be that same shoulder width stance right where you like to squat every single time. Okay? So then when we put this together, we're gonna go from power position, bars at that hip crease, a little bit of knee bend. We're gonna go down and up, extend, shrug with a quick high pull. And then what I'm gonna be doing as this bar is reaching its height, I'm gonna punch myself underneath that bar and stand up, right? So it's gonna be and if you watch from the side, it should be a pretty straight line up, right? So what we don't want to do is have that bar be out there. We're extending, pulling, punching, right? So it's going to be. Okay, so both of the lifts are going to land, finish like that. Both are landing in that power snatch or quarter squat landing. One's going to start from the ground though, and the other one's going to start from the knee. So you're going to end up doing the one from the knee after, but let's go over that first. So we're going to get to power position first. We're going to kind of hinge over. We're going to get our knees to stay where they are. We're going to get our butt to go back. We're going to tip over to just above the knee, right? So that bar is close, right? So that bar is kind of basically grazing the leg right now, right? I don't want to have my knees this way where I'm kind of having to kind of pull this bar in. Knees are back, right? What I'm going to do from here is I'm just going to kind of push through the floor, that bar coming up close, right? Making sure that it's held back and close to me. What I don't want to do is start pulling up with my chest and having that. So that bar is close, right? And when I get to about mid-thigh, I'm going to raise the chest up. And I'm going to get to that power position. So from here, that power position, and then we're going to extend, shrug, and land, right? So when I put that together, it's going to go. Right, if I don't stop at those positions. Okay, so there's your hang power snatch. And then all we got to do for the ones from the ground is just add in that kind of bottom knee down for the deadlift. So if I hinge over like I was, and then I'm going to keep that back angle the same, so butt and shoulders are going to drop together. And then I'm kind of over the sort of the balls of my feet right now. I'm going to have to get those knees out of the way on the way up. Right? Now I'm where I was. Right? So if you imagine a straight line up with that bar, pushing through the floor, then I'm going to keep pushing through the floor as I start to bring the chest up, and I've got to keep the bar back, get in the power position, and land, right? So if I put that together from the ground, so butt and shoulders rise together, knees stay out of the way, chest comes up, and land, right? So what we're going to do is 3 from the ground, or from the shins, then you're going to do 3 from the knee, or just above the knee. So 6 reps total if you have a bar. Touch and go. So when I bring the bar down, so if my first rep starts here, right, I reset. On the way down, I gotta keep the bar pretty close, head out of the way, right? I'm gonna turn those hands over, get it back to power position, knees out of the way, touch. What I don't want to do is kind of just push this bar out here and have me kind of like lose my balance on the way down for my next rep, right? Right when I'm at the top is when I'm setting myself up for the next rep. So if I'm getting my balance here, how I bring this bar down is going to make the next rep go good or bad, right? So I'm going to keep it close, set myself up, touch, and I'm in a good spot. It's going to go pretty good. If I kind of let it out here, and then the bar is now out here, and I'm on the balls of my feet, and I'm a little forward, chances are the next rep's going to go pretty ugly, right? Yeah, so just, it's, for some it might just be a light, empty bar drill for some of you guys if you don't have a lot of weight around, or some PVC practice. I'd be doing that almost every day just to kind of keep my lifts fresh, right? You can practice the punch, practice your speed, practice your footwork, even if you only have a dumbbell at home, okay? So just do a bit of that here and there, right? Okay, so dumbbell, hang power snatch and power snatch, so you're going to be going from the ground. Basically, you got the same lift. You're going to have a straight arm. You're going to jump and shrug, right? Just like we did with the bar. And then we're going to quick high pull, almost like I'm zipping up my jacket. and then I'm going to punch, right? So it's going to be from the ground. Same idea. I want to have the bar, dumbbell going down close. Right? Then I'm going to go from the knee. So I think it says 4 on there, but you're going to have to adjust your reps a little bit. Then I'm going to go from the knee. Right? What I don't want to do is swing it out like a kettlebell. Right? I don't want to do that. I want it to go straight up. Okay, so I'm going to shrug my shoulder back from here. I'm going to bring my chest up to vertical. I'm going to shrug that shoulder up. And then the dumbbell's going to go this way as opposed to that way. Right? So I'm going to do the whole set on the one arm. So the 4 or more or less from the ground, 4 from the knee, put it down, do 4 from the ground with the other side, 4 from the knee with the other side. Yeah. So if you have a kettlebell, same idea. You just have to work on that, where you turn over, where you punch through that kettlebell. So usually I try to tell people it's right around the side of my head is where that kettlebell is rotating, so that I can kind of punch through before I don't want it to reach the top and then spin around, right? So what I'm going to do, it's going to have to be fast. It's going to be tough to see, but I'm going to go from the ground. I'm going to basically do the same step. Shoulder goes back. Right? And you saw right around there is when it spun. Shoulder goes back. Elbow goes high. Then punch. Right? And then I'm going to do some from the knee. So it's going to be from a hang. So it's going to be same idea. Same like those. If I do it like a kettlebell swing and I hang on tight and I let it swing out there and then it reaches the top and then it comes around and bang, it's a different movement, right? It's supposed to be pretty vertical. So it's going to be from here, shrug back, that elbow to come up. And then that kettlebell's starting to turn now, right? And then that's when I can punch through, and then I don't get that bruising on the wrist for people that hang on for too long. But if that's a tough skill for you, I would stick to a dumbbell till you get a bit more help. It's hard to help you guys individually right now, but if you want to work on some kettlebell snatches, by all means, this would be a good drill for it. Yeah, so like I said, with those, the kettlebell and the dumbbell, you might not be able to change weights every set or anything, so you might have to, like, we have it set at roughly 4 and 4, so 4 from the ground, 4 from the knee right, 4 from the ground, 4 from the knee left, but that might need to be 5 to 10, or that might need to be adjusted. So try to do basically as much as you can, being able to keep up with the clock. So if I can do roughly about 30, 45 seconds of work, then I can probably keep up with the clock. If I start doing a minute more, I'm probably gonna have a hard time being able to keep going, okay? All right, so for the WOD, this one's pretty simple, 18 minutes for everyone, so as many rounds as possible. That's what AMRAP means for you newer people. This one should be something that you're able to keep going, but you want to be going at your pace that you think you can maintain. So you're going for 18 minutes. There's no scheduled breaks in there. You're just trying to, but the reps are small enough and kind of easy enough movements that should be able to kind of keep going. So 6 hand release push-ups. So that's chest to the floor, hands off, tap, push up. That's what I want to do to get these to be RX is not coming up like this and then up. It's chest to the ground, hands come off just a little bit. So they don't have to come super high. They just have to you just have to have some air between your hand and the floor. What it does is kind of forces everyone to have the same standard. You know that you're laying on the ground and it's not just like, you know, shirt barely touching the floor or whatever. Everyone's laying right on the ground. It's only 6. So, you know, that would be something that burns out if we did 100 in a row. But when it's 6, you should be able to keep them going, especially because you come back from a run arms are pretty fresh. Yeah, kettlebell swings. So now we're gonna do more of that swing that we were doing. So a 2-arm, we're gonna go right to American style one, so overhead. So you're gonna deadlift it up, you're gonna bring it in, and right to overhead. Okay, what I always see with these ones, people doing these ones wrong, is that they squat too much. They kind of go down here, and then they start pulling it up like that, and they try to stand it up, right? They try to go up, right? Usually with this one, what I want to do is kind of hinge, right? So I'm going to get my hips to go back, right? And what the power is from me straightening out. So it's basically this to this, not this to this, right? So it doesn't need to go very low, it just has to get between the legs. So I'm going to stand it up, just goes between the legs. Right? And keep your eyes straight ahead so that you don't start following it down and kind of following it up and having your back up. If you've got a dumbbell, I'm finding that most people are holding this like a golf club. So you're going to swing it like this. Right, same idea. Some people can hold it like this. You just have to get your feet, legs really wide, and you got to have small enough hands to fit between the thing. I find that kind of too much into fingertip grip. I would hold it more like a golf club. So just 12 should be, I don't think you're going to need to adjust the weights too much. Even if it's a little bit heavy, you'll be able to do 12. But it's supposed to be set up in a way that you can just rip 12 in a row. 18 sit-ups. So you're going to use momentum sit-ups, ab mat sit-ups. You can use a mat on your back or a towel or pillow like I saw some people using. You're going to have your feet together like this. You're going to touch the ground and touch your toes. Touch your ground, touch your toes, right? So fast ones, momentum is allowed. Use as much momentum as possible. The idea is to go fast, okay? We're in the high intensity portion of it. The idea is the more work you're gonna do is where you're gonna get those results. First round, you're not gonna feel too much. You wanna kinda get the heart rate up and keep it up, okay? And then you're gonna go for that 200-meter run. You're gonna go to the 100-meter mark. Or if you have a 50 or something like that, make sure you got that measured out before you start. But this should be one where you're not really stopping, okay? That run, it's so short, you could probably go at a pace that, a little higher than kind of if it was a long run. Plus also things are good kind of back to back. So, you do running and then push-ups is kind of rested while the chest is sort of rested while you're running, right? So everything kind of doesn't work against itself. So they're complementary movements, so that means that you should be able to keep going, right? If there was like similar movements back to back, then you kind of get tired. Okay, so 18 minutes, good luck guys.